What's up, everyone? Good morning. Happy Black Friday. I am the Commish, and this is another edition of the RAIDER ReACTION Morning Show. February 7th, 2020. This offseason, I thought last offseason, I was calling it one of the most important off seasons in the recent history of the then Oakland Raiders, and this is a huge offseason in the development, the groundwork, the foundation of what will be the Las Vegas Raiders. This offseason is gigantic. You look at the 2020 or the 2019 draft class, and it was amazing. If the 2020 draft class even halfway mirrors what 2019 was, you got the first round picks. I love the way the third round picks lined up with pick 80 and 81. You get the back-to-back picks, which I think is huge. And then only 10 picks later, you get a pick again. Those first 5 picks could be huge this season. Huge this season. Everybody is excited about the silver and black being in Vegas. And I mean everybody. Even everybody, guys that aren't affiliated with the NFL. Guys like Dana White, the UFC, who makes their bed in their home in Vegas. It's where their biggest events go. You don't think they love seeing the NFL come to town? You goddamn right they do.
If you're a Raiders fan, why would you not want to come to Vegas and see the Raiders play? It's an absolute no-brainer. And if you're an opposing team to the Raiders and you're going to go to an away game, you're going to want to go to the away game in Vegas. Listen, if you're a Raiders fan, it makes all the sense in the world. You get to come to Vegas every weekend and watch your team play. It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Come out there, great dinners, great shopping. Nightlife is incredible, and then you go to the Raiders game on Sunday. And then shoot right back home. It's a 45-minute flight. No-brainer. This thing should have been in Vegas years ago.
I thought it was very cool that my all-time favorite player that ever wore the silver and black, Mr. Tim Brown, was making his rounds on Radio Row Super Bowl week, and I found one of the interviews that I thought he really gave some nice nuggets. And anytime one of the greatest Raiders of all time and my personal favorite Raider of all time has something to say, I think you should listen. He is, in my humble opinion, the greatest Raider receiver of all time.
You're not wearing the gold jacket now.
Not today. I got the ring on, but not,
yeah. But you brought it maybe
Yes,
for
yes.
Saturday, right? How much did that mean to you, right? It took maybe a little bit longer than it should have, considered how good you were for how long that you played. But to finally get there, to give that speech, to wear the jacket, what did that mean to you?
Well, the thing is, you don't know how much you're thinking about something until you don't have to think about it anymore. You know what I mean?
That's a great way to think. Yeah.
And I realized once it happened how big of a thing that was for me. And even though I was trying to, and probably doing a pretty good job playing it off or whatever, the release that came over me, in the form of tears and, all that stuff was enough for me to know that this was something that was really on my mind quite a bit. And, so to not have to wonder about that anymore, think about that, or answer all the questions of why you're not in anymore, all that is something for me that is very refreshing and relaxing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and obviously it says Bay Area right there,
Sure.
so there's a lot of Raiders fans watching live right now. Went from 4-12 to just below 500.
Yeah.
But do you feel like with the draft class that they got, you've worked with John Gruden, the head coach of the Raiders, do you think the arrow's pointing up for the silver and black?
Without a doubt it is. I think, if the AB situation would have worked out,
right,
I think that's worth a couple wins for us right there.
I think it is too. That's a good point.
So we had a lot of injuries. Abrams went down first couple games of the year, the safety, and so I think, that was a problem. That made them have to put guys in different positions. People think because you play in the secondary, you should be able to play anywhere in the secondary. Well, that's not.
That's
That's
true.
not the case. You know, especially now in today's football, because of them having so many receivers out there. You have guys who play specialized positions, and when that guy is gone, then you have to bring somebody else in or move somebody else around, and that was a problem. That was a problem all year. And
they just never got right there.
They never just got right. So I was texting Gruden all year, going, man, I mean, you're doing this with pins and needles out there, you know, putting the pieces together, but you know, but it fell apart for a while there. You know, lost 3 or 4 games in a row at a critical time when they could have submitted a playoff spot. And but you know, at the same time, you know, you probably won a couple games that you probably shouldn't have won either. So, but you know, I think, man, you know, if you can get everybody back, get everybody healthy, get a couple more pieces in place. You got to be ready to now confront this Kansas City team. Is tough for anybody.
Right. That's been controlling this division for a long time.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because as long as you have Tyreek Hill and Hardeman out there doing what they're doing, and Watkins and Kelsey, it just makes it very difficult to say you're going to ever stop this team. And so you have to sort of figure out a way you can almost outscore them.
Yeah, and Derek Carr's set a bunch of career records the last 2 years with John Gruden, his yards per pass attempt, completion percentage, all these numbers, right? But there still seems to be, maybe never from John's mouth or Mayock's mouth, but there's always seems to be some speculation, unfair or not, about whether Derek Carr is the quarterback of the future. Where do you stand on all that?
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, it's the only thing I'd say is, you know, Derek, unfortunately, has never had a true number 1 receiver.
That's
you know?
right.
I mean, Amari Cooper was there. Amari Cooper was there, but, you know, I mean, there was just some issues there during the time. You know, even though they had some good years together, I think that, you know, maybe people just never felt like he was that number one. He has the talent. There's no doubt about that. Of course, with what happened this year with the AB situation, so I would love to see Derek with a true number 1, a guy who everybody knows on 3rd and 6, the ball is going to this guy some kind of way, and can you stop him? And I think from there you'll be able to, you'll know. I mean, if Derek has another year like he's had, or the team is not, you know, in the playoffs, you know, maybe you think about a move. But I think you would see a big difference in that situation. So I don't think they're going to make a move this year. I wouldn't, you know, foresee them doing that. But at the same time, you know, it's always as good as an athlete to know that, you know, I really need to go out and do well.
Right.
You know, I mean,
pressure's on a little bit.
Yeah.
And John knows how to apply that right in just the right way.
Yes, and I you know, because I remember, I'll tell you this quick story. My rookie year, you know, I had a couple games back to back that were pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And I had, you know, some, you know, rookie of the week or whatever, some award, and so everybody was patting me on the back and all this. And I remember Art Shell. He wasn't even the head coach at the time. He came up to me. I don't know if this was the truth or not, but I never forgot it. He came up to me and said, I don't know what you're so excited about. We were just talking about how we were going to replace you last night.
Wow.
And he just walked away from me.
And that was it.
That was it. And again, I don't know. I never got an answer to that, but I never forgot it. And basically what he was saying is, don't settle right here.
Right.
Keep pushing. Keep doing what you need to do. And that's just something I never forgot, man. And I think, you know, for anybody who to ever think they're comfortable or, you know, I can get away with this or get away with that, you know, especially at that position, at the quarterback position, it's not going to happen.
And this Raiders team has moved around quite a bit. LA, you obviously played in Oakland, went to a Super Bowl there, and now the Las Vegas thing. How do you think that they've managed it, right? Because they were in Oakland for 3 years. Now I'm sure that you've seen the renderings. Beautiful place in Vegas, beautiful practice facility. How do you think that they handled all that? They had sellouts right up until the final game.
Yeah, well, you know, that's Raider Nation, man. I wouldn't expect anything else from the Raider fans. I mean, they've been the most incredible fan base I've ever known since I came into the league back in '88. But, you know, I think, you know, from the standpoint of moving and all that stuff, you know, it's not something that the organization wanted to do for sure. You know, I was with some people in the front office when they were thinking about making this decision, and literally they were crying about it because everybody wanted to be in Oakland. But at the same time, you have to do what's best for the organization. And what's best for the organization is for this organization to move to Vegas and start anew. And that's unfortunate, but you sort of was put in that position by two people, by the city of Oakland and by the NFL, where they chose not to make the Raiders the second team in LA.
In Los Angeles, right.
I think from that standpoint, all those decisions are behind us now, and we got a beautiful stadium that's a couple months from being open and ready to go, man, and let's move on. And I think the Raider fans who understand what this is really all about will be on board and be in Vegas. Who don't want to go to Vegas anyway, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody wants to make the trip, right?
It's not going to be a hard sell. Well, I'm over it now. I'm going to Vegas. So
you've been in meeting rooms with John Gruden. I can't believe that you and Jerry Rice were on the same field at the same time. I mean, that's incredible. What's it like in meeting rooms, right? Where, I mean, two all-time greats, offensive mastermind, maybe not in position meeting rooms, but, to have that dynamic when you guys were just unstoppable.
Yeah.
What was that period like for you?
Well, I think, man, for us, it was always a situation where we were trying so hard to get to the Super Bowl, and that was Jerry's real reason for coming over. He told everybody that I came over here so I can, help Tim Brown get to the Super Bowl, and I wanted so much to have that feeling of walking out the locker room, to play a Super Bowl, that that was our focus. So, John never singled us out, or in a good way or bad way.
Yeah.
He always, talked to the entire offense, and when he would come in the receivers meeting room, it was always about the concept, about the deal. It was never about Tim is going to do this and Jerry is going to do that. Even though we knew when he was talking. So I think John just did an incredible job as handling the whole deal and really making the other guys in the locker room feel as if your role is just as important as these two guys who we know are going to catch the majority of the balls. But when your opportunity comes, we really need you to step up and make it happen.
Tim Brown, thank you so much for stopping by.
Appreciate you guys.
Check out your Level.
Level Select CBD, baby.
CBD. Hall of Famer, man. Great conversation. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Oh, yeah. It's that time again. It's time for Prime.
What up, everybody? This is Prime with my Prime Cut. There's a definite hierarchy in American sports. So, just looking at American sports, there's a definite pecking order, there's a definite top of the heap, and there's a definite bottom. So just a quick look at that, I'm going to say that actually golf and tennis are at the bottom. Why do I say that? Although they are some of the wealthiest, if you will, fans and players, because tennis players get paid worldwide. They play in big tournaments, and they're always sold out, and there's always tons of money in those tennis prizes. And every damn golf tournament is supported by, like, some insurance company or for some financial group. It's no coincidence that if you watch any golf, all the commercials are for, like, Mercedes or Lexus or, PricewaterhouseCoopers or some kind of financial institution that is well beyond the means of your normal guy. Meanwhile, next on that, I'm going to say, so golf and tennis are at the bottom. And I'm actually going to go hockey. Yep, hockey is so regional. If you do not live in one of the cities that features a hockey team, then you can barely find fans. I live in a city that has no professional sports. And I know more guys that are going to go out and watch every soccer match than I know that are, like, cheering for hockey. It's just the most regional sport out of all of these, really. Meanwhile, next on that, I just mentioned it. Next on that list, I'm going to go with soccer. And the only reason I go with soccer is because no matter where I go, all around the country, all across the United States, there are soccer fans, whether it be, MLS fans or fans of the European Premier League, or guys like me who I don't miss a men's national team or a women's national team for that matter. When USA plays a friendly or they're in the Gold Cup or they miss it or whatever, I don't care. I watch those because I root for the United States, man. That's just how I roll. I'm a patriot that way. Not like a New England one. Nah. But ultimately, I think soccer comes next on that list. Then I'm going to go with baseball. Yeah, I don't know how baseball continues to do it. Man, the sport is slow. Talk about nothing but old people watch golf. But, really, it seems, I don't know, baseball's still going. But I don't know how they have these contracts or how they're making all this money. I guess people wear baseball caps just to wear baseball caps, not because of the team on them or anything like that. Some guys I know will just wear a Cincinnati Reds hat because it's red, got an R or C on it, got a C on it. I don't know what's on there. Anyway, people just wear them to wear them. Then after baseball, man, like they had a big major trade the other day, and they weren't even like the headliner in sports shows. No. So that's baseball. So just to recap real quick, we go golf and tennis. We'll just lump them together because they're kind of elitist in that way. And, and you gotta, I don't know, be part of the country club to play either of them. So, then I go with, hockey, then soccer, then baseball. And then I got to go basketball. The NBA is huge. College basketball is huge. Actually, college basketball ratings are down currently this year. No one's watching those Duke games because, what's his name? Williamson. Zion Williamson. Sorry, that name's not a normal one. Zion Williamson. He left Duke. So no one's watching Duke. Go crazy. Go figure. So, and then, of course, even basketball right now, as soon as the NFL is over, like basketball takes over in the summer after the championships, then like some of the free agent action in basketball keeps up with football, I think. But as we know, football is the supreme. It's the king of the hill here in the United States of America, so much so that now we have another league starting. Of course we have the NFL, of course we have college. How many people watched the Clemson Tigers? They lost to LSU. Yeah, Louisiana State. So LSU beat the Clemson Tigers in a national championship, and a bunch of people watched it. The Super Bowl, don't even get me started, man. A bunch of people watch that. Regular season, fantasy, all that kind of good stuff, man. Football is the king supreme, day in, day out. So, I didn't talk about a couple of things. I didn't talk about boxing. I didn't talk about mixed martial arts. I can't quite put my finger on where to place those things because, like baseball, in the past, boxing was huge. Like, there was a time when the boxing was live and the football was on tape delay. So, but that day is come and gone. Boxing is a shadow of once it once was. And, MMA, UFC, that stuff it just keeps coming up, man. It just keeps coming up. Anyway, so that's the hierarchy in sports right now. Football reigns supreme over all the land. Isn't it that obvious? Anyway, I'm Prime, damn near sideways, and I'm out.
Would not be a Raider Reaction morning show without a D-bag of the day. Let's get after it.
D-bag of the day, but it's not going to be Raider related or anything. It's my fucking dentist who tightened the shit out of my braces. And now, not only that, left wire sticking out. So when I have to talk a lot at work because I'm in the customer service world, I'm cutting my lip. And it sucks. And they're supposed to be coming off soon. So, yeah. Douchebag of the day, my dentist.
You, sir, are a fucking douchebag.
Yep. Football season's over. And basketball season's in full swing. And as the Raider hype team Laker fan, diehard since '85, I'm happy. I'm good with it because the Lakers haven't been in this position in over 6 years. At least we'll have a fucking winning record since that time. But we're on our way back. The crown belongs in L.A. Not with the Flippers. Fuck them. Take your goddamn team, move it all the way to fucking Inglewood with the Yam Wagon. I can give a flying fuck. They can head back to Seattle. Seattle needs a team anyway. But I love it. You know, I love basketball. Just as much as I love football. Baseball's coming up too. Pitchers and catchers are reporting soon. I don't know who's the fucking who out there, but this is the Cardinal way. St. Louis does it the right way. We don't fucking cheat like the Houston Astros and shit. So, anywho, a little bit of the rant for the day. Peace.
Man, I'm sick of hearing all this Tom Brady talk, but the reality of the matter is if he becomes and goes out fully into the free agent market, he will be one of the most coveted free agent quarterbacks in recent memory. And two of the places that keep getting talked about, Chokerland and Vegas.
All right, let's talk about Tom Brady for a second. It turns out that the cryptic tweet Brady sent out Super Bowl week wasn't, in fact, a hint at his possible destination, but instead just a commercial for a streaming internet service, which means Brady's future remains uncertain. Recent reports say that both the Chargers and the Raiders are expected to pursue the quarterback in free agency. Nick, if we're going to talk about those two teams, which would be a better destination for Brady, L.A. or Vegas, baby?
Oh, I think the Chargers.
Regular Vegas.
No, I got you. I think the Chargers is perfect. I think the Chargers are the best suitor for him if it was Chargers or 31 other teams, as far as the realistic destinations. They've got elite weapons on the outside. They just gave their coach, Anthony Lynn, a contract extension, which I was worried about after this down season, but I like Anthony Lynn as a head coach. They've got a couple dominant defensive players. Now, we didn't see one of them this year, Derwin James, because after his all-pro rookie season, he was dealing with an injury they suffered in preseason all year long. They've got Joey Bosa as well, Melvin Ingram. They'll have at least one of their running backs back. They've got a tight end, Hunter Henry. What hurt that team last year was Phillip Rivers could not stop throwing interceptions. And while I'm more down on Brady than most, what he still does at a very high level is he does not turn the ball over. And you give him those types of weapons in a warm weather city, and now I understand he's got to deal with the Super Bowl champs twice a year, and that's a bummer for anybody, but I think the Chargers are a much better fit than the Raiders. What about the
offensive line?
Well, that's a work in progress.
Yeah, and that's a problem. And he's not... He might be a step faster than Phillip Rivers. That's not saying much. He's not going to elude anybody. So I think this benefits, I know it benefits both organizations in terms of ticket sales. That's the only reason they're pursuing Brady. Not because he's going to win them a Super Bowl. They're not a quarterback away from winning a Super Bowl. They have all the elements in the components in the Chargers or the Raiders. I don't know really what they're going to do, but this benefits the organization more than anything else. It's a quick spike. It's a Bitcoin spike to say, hey, we're bringing in Tom Brady, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl MVP, all-time great. And it's going to be a spike in ticket sales, but week 2, week 3, when he has no protection up front, whether you're in Vegas or L.A., it's going to be a disaster for him. He has more value, again, to stay at the Patriots.
So you say neither of the two?
Neither. Just don't even entertain that thought because it's not going to end well.
Yeah, to me, he should stay in New England as well. It's the best opportunity for him to be successful and for New England to be successful. But that being said, if I had to choose one of these two teams, I would say that it's the Raiders. And John Gruden has a borderline lifetime contract, so it's not about him getting extended or not getting extended. It's very clear who's in control there and how they're shaping the organization. They've put money into the offensive line. They've got some young emerging players. They've got another extra draft pick, I believe, again this year. So they've got a chance to improve the team with 2 number ones again. And it's about, as a older head coach, understanding when you bring in a player like Tom Brady, you need to do what he does well. It's not about fitting him into your system. It's about maximizing his ability at this point and adjusting your system to make him as successful as possible. And I think John would do a great job of that.
Well, and this is not a knock on Gruden. I do think if Brady were to leave New England, one of the reasons that another place would seem attractive to him is because maybe he does want to have more control than he has in New England. And to your point,
which is seemingly none.
Correct. And by the way, it's been the most successful model any organization has had. So I'm not knocking it, but maybe you just want a different
over what? Like
over anything, really. Over either the way business is done, the offense that we run, the way we do meetings, any of these things that in New England they have a way, and it is the Belichick way, which is one of 53 for the players. And to your point about Gruden, I do wonder if going to another place where the head coach is the end-all, be-all because of his contract situation there is as attractive to him as the Chargers, because the Raiders don't need help with ticket sales. The Raiders, because they're going to be the number one.
It'll be a nice pop.
And sure, but the Raiders they're also not going to have any type of home field, I would imagine, because it's going to be the number one destination. If your team's playing on the road, it's like, oh, let's go to the Vegas trip.
Right.
The Chargers desperately need help with ticket sales. And so the reason I mention that is, I feel like they would say to Brady, we will let you have more say in a lot of things than you ever could get with New England or maybe anywhere else.
I think you have Tom Brady pegged the wrong way. The idea that Tom Brady is obsessed with having say, that's not who he is. Tom Brady is obsessed with being as good as he can possibly be. There's been plenty of time during the course of his career with the success that he's had that he could have pushed for more say, that he could have pushed things contractually, that he could have done things to assert himself the way we've seen other really successful quarterbacks assert themselves into an organization, but he knows that's not what's best for him, and that's not what gives them the best chance to win.
Do you think that Tom wants to come from under the shadow of Belichick to prove that he can probably win somewhere else? I mean, because I'm thinking about the motivation for him wanting to leave and explore free agency to be treated differently or get paid more. I'm trying to figure that out because he has 6 rings, and maybe the only thing that he can probably say now is, okay, I was able to go somewhere else and be successful, or take an organization like the Raiders and making them a playoff contender again, or the LA Chargers or the Tennessee Titans, for example, and take them over the top to say, hey, I was able to do it with Belichick and without Belichick as well. Is that a motivating factor, you think?
I think sometimes in any relationship, it's not a function of you wanting to leave. It's just you want to be wanted, and you want someone to say, hey, you've been really important to us. A little bit of that appreciation, and it's amazing that maybe this is the point where he's reached that at 42 years old. The fact that he's been able to stay away from that world, and again, I'm projecting. I can't imagine that is Tom's motivation, but I'm sure he wants a little bit of, okay, you're our guy. We're behind you. Let's go.
What do you think is more important to Tom Brady right now at age 42, 43 years old? Is it money? Is it a little bit of more longevity in the league so he could be the oldest to do it?
I think it's respect. And I think to Coach, the point that Coach made, listen, it's not, money is, if you're already as wealthy as he is, money is nothing other than a sign of respect, right? Because it's Brady's not going to spend the money he made in 2005. Like, his money is done with. Like, it's all just money for people he'll never meet, kids of kids.
It's hard for any great player to leave with respect. The greatest to ever lace him up, Michael Jordan. didn't bow out with a great deal of respect from the Wizards. I'm just saying,
right.
He's in that category in terms of time. You see what I'm saying?
I totally do. But you said something that kind of keyed my brain, which is Brady has always been able to and chose not to exert more influence. And I would imagine it would have been quite jarring for him if the first time, after he's always thought, I could do more, I could ask for more, but I won't. And this last offseason, he did. Guys, I'm going to come to the table for the first time. I would like a contract extension. I could have done this a million times, and I'm sure you always would have said yes, but now I want it. And the first time he asked for it, he's told no. Nope, won't do it. I'd like 3-year extension. How about 2-year extension? Nope. How about a 1-year extension? Nope. If I've operated the whole time thinking I always could do this, but I won't, and then the one time, if I always feel like, man, if I ever need to get bailed out of jail, I could call coach. I won't, but I could. And the one time I call you, you're like, sorry, Nick, you're on your own. I'm like, damn, that makes me reevaluate our friendship. If Brady thought all along I could have asked for stuff, and I haven't, the one time I did, you said no, maybe I couldn't have. That, to me, would make me reevaluate things. And I know you'd bail me out of jail, I would. Coach. Absolutely. We've talked about it.
Do not forget, you only have until midnight Saturday to get in the 2020 Raider Reaction Offseason Madden Challenge PS4 League. RaiderNation.store.net as well as Raider Reaction are kicking in for tons of prizes the entire season long. Every division winner gets a prize pack chock full of shit from Raider Reaction and RaiderNationStore.net, as well as our big grand prize. This year, we are starting off with an autographed Josh Jacobs jersey, and we're adding to that grand prize every single week. It is going to be a mountain of silver and black awesomeness for whoever wins the league this year. All of our owners, almost all of our owners are returning last year. Our defending champ, Chris Varavakis, is returning, and we have a kick-ass league set up for this season. You only got until midnight Saturday. Message the Raider Reaction page to get it locked down. We'll get you all the information. Don't miss out. This league's already over half full, and we are running with it, with what we got right now. So if you don't get in, you're just going to miss out. We're going to be highlighting this league all off season. Don't miss out. Put your money where your mouth is. And now, to send you out on your Black Friday with your Raider quote of the day. Today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I will accomplish what others can't. Words of the GOAT, Jerry Rice. Have a kick-ass day, Raider Nation. And have a kick-ass weekend. I will see you tonight for Black Friday. I got a kick-ass game plan for you. So make sure you tune in. Until then, I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation.